So, welcome to my Vloggypod. How are you? My name is Sherry and I live in southwest of the UK down in Devon, and I am a yarn dyer and embroiderer, and this is where I come and natter. So how are you? It's been a lovely, so I'm English, but so there's going to be some weather chats to start with. It's been a lovely sunny day actually today, which ordinarily I would be very happy about, but everyone in the UK, I think, has had snow today, apart from us in our little corner of the Exeter region. I think they've had snow on Dartmoor, and a couple of my friends have been sending through snowy pictures today. I'm so pleased for them. No, I am pleased for them, it's lovely. I would just love some snow. Where we used to live, I used to live in Kent, but sort of grew up and spent most of my life in Kent. We used to have quite a reasonable amount of snow in Kent, and then we lived in the Cotswolds for a while and we got quite thick snow. I told you this would be weather chat. But since we've been here, I think we've had one flurry, and I later learned that there was much excitement about that flurry here. When my son was at university in Exeter and we were in Kent, he would say to me, "Oh, it's a lovely day today," and he's been out in a t-shirt, and we were freezing back in Kent, so I think it's just a milder climate here, and the upshot is we don't get snow. The English in particular, the Scots, have great snow, and I think Wales and Ireland have way better snow than certainly we do here. Yorkshire has great snow, but down in our little pocket in the south, yeah, we don't get much snow, and I've completely lost my way. I already lost my way and I've only just started talking about snow. Anyway, the upshot is, I think it's been quite a good week actually. There's been some good positive things come out this week about vaccines. I mean, I know we've got a long way to go and we're right at the beginning of it all, but hopefully we're on our way to a better summer and future really. A bit more weather talk. We've got so much mud coming in. I've got two Labradors, if you don't know, Monty and Archie. And where we used to live, we had a big garden, and if the dogs were out in the garden on the grass, it was fine. I think there was just so much grass that they didn't, have much of an impact on it. But we've got a smaller garden here, and the dogs go out and come in, and Archie's not so bad. He's a bit more light-footed, but Monty's comes in and his feet are just full of this mud, so we're going to have to do something about that. We used to have actually, okay, epic digression coming up. I don't know if I've ever told you about our cats Oscar and Charlie that we used to have, that we lost them a few years ago. But we had them for nearly 15 years, and they were rescue cats. We'd come back from holiday from France, this is when the boys were young, and we'd been away for a few weeks actually, and when we got home we'd lost another cat of ours, Pandy, that we'd had for about 15 years, and the house just felt empty. And if you've got cats or dogs, you'll know what I mean. You come back from holiday and part of the excitement is going to pick the dogs up or pick the cats up, from the cattery or the kennels. And that year I can remember we came home and the boys were only really young, and they sort of raced up to their bedrooms and found a bit of Lego perhaps they were building or something before they went. But I felt really flat. I just thought, So anyway, we decided that we were going to get, and we've always done rescues with our animals, and we've had, they're cats, I should say, and we've had sort of semi-feral cats and all sorts. So anyway, we went to our local RSPCA, which was quite close, and we ended up, and when we walked in, there were these amazing cats, and they all seemed to be in pens 2 or 3, in groups of 2 or 3. So anyway, we saw Oscar and Charlie and we asked, and the RSPCA do home checks and interviews. It was all quite rightly, very strict. But they wouldn't tell us about the cats because we said, but how have you got all these lovely cats? And they wouldn't say anything to us. Anyway, once they'd accepted us, they explained to us that the cats were, it's horrible. It was a breeding, they used to breed cats disease-free for experimentation. And around the age of 2.5, they used to be shipped around the world. So it was pretty horrible. And I remember I don't remember this because we'd been away, but apparently it'd been on the news and lots of people had been going looking for these cats, which is why I think they'd been a bit reluctant. I don't know why they were reluctant to tell people at the time. But anyway, I think it was animal rights got this establishment shut down and we ended up getting Oscar and Charlie. Well, they had never seen daylight. They'd never been outside cages. There were about 15 of them in cages. So they didn't know until they got to the RSPCA. They'd never sort of smelt fresh air. They'd never seen a bird. And when they went into our back garden, the grass completely freaked them out. If you see a cat deal with snow for the first time, that's what they were like in the garden. They would scoot down the edge of the garden. Birds used to fascinate them. And it took probably a couple of years. Anyway, I could talk about that forever. That was a long story. And we shared their lives. I think Charlie was 18 when we lost him. Oh, I can't talk about this. And Oscar was 19. But anyway, the funny thing about this is what I'm saying about digression, how my mind works. Where we lived then in Kent, we had clay, a lot of clay in the back garden, and a bit like the dogs now, whereas Archie is light-footed, Charlie was. He would sort of skip around the garden, but Oscar was a much bigger cat, and he would come in, and for some bizarre reason, I'd put cream carpet down with 3 boys. My little wagtails out there. I've got Wagtail and a Robin. Oh, I won't start on that. I'll lose my track. But we had. Yeah. So anyway, Oscar used to come in. He was quite a big cat, and we used to pick him up. Oh yeah, cream carpet. What was I thinking? Three boys, dogs, cats, husband. You know, oh no, I don't know what I was thinking, but I had cream carpet, and I used to think, what is that? And it was Oscar walking across the room, having got his paws in the mud. So we used to have to pick him up, and he'd be sort of like this, and I'd have to clean his paws. And at that point, he was still like, "Don't touch my paws." So I was the one that I used to have to do it. But anyway, you didn't need to know any of that, but that was quite funny. So. I'm going to stop talking about that now because you absolutely didn't need to know that. What have I been doing? So last time I mentioned that I was going to do some wrist warmers. God, I'm so sorry about that. Which I did. Well, I started. It's just a little fun thing that I'm doing, but I wanted to do something. So my friend Carrie has made me 2 beautiful pair of wrist warmers, which I wear all the time. She made me 1 pair which are my best ones, and the first pair that she made me, which I wear all the time. And I thought I would make another pair that goes better with my coat, because the one that Carrie got me goes with one of my coats. And anyway, my coat that I've got now is sort of greeny browny colour. So anyway, I've made some little wrist warmers. I'm making some little wrist warmers. I don't know if that's very clear. They're just fun, but I just thought, now this could go epically wrong. I'm going to try these on. I did this once before with some socks I was doing, and I just pulled all the stitches off the needle. I mean, classic me. So anyway, I've made some little wrist warmers. I'm making some little wrist warmers, and I thought I would just put a little pattern in for fun. I'm quite enjoying doing that, actually, making it up. So I think I'm going to. So I've got. So these are all yarns from, I think it was our autumn treasures box, not last year, year before. And then this one that I've added in is from my friend Kelly, who is Lay Family Yarn. And we used to do lots of swaps and things, and I've got so many of her lovely minis. So this is that one. So I'm going to got that one there, and then I think I'm going to go back to this one. So it'll come down to about here. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. So that's that. And I will continue with these, otherwise we'll be into spring, and although I will be wearing them anyway for quite some time. So yeah, I'm enjoying those. That's the first thing. Yeah, and I've been enjoying doing the little pattern actually, keeping me quiet. The other thing I've been doing, and I did a little, God, I'm getting hot already. By the way, because lots of people have said to me, oh, you look like you're hot. For a start, it's not hot flushes. I'm just always like this. I've been like this since I was quite young. And I used to drive up to London with my dad. I used to live in Kent, and we used to drive up to the city. And we used to have to leave quite early. It was about 7ish, 7:15 that we used to leave. And my dad used to get in the car, his coat on and his hat on, and you know, put the heating on, and then on my side of the car I would put the window down and try and get the air cooler, and we just to glare at each other. You know, he would like, how can you be so cold? And he'd be like, how can you be so hot? So I've always been like this, but anyway, getting myself all flustered. So I did actually put a little video up on Patreon, not a tutorial, it was just like a little stitch along doing these, but I've been making some little glasses cases. I don't know if that is going to focus because it's quite light fabric on light thread on light, and the other one is that one, little cow parsley, which I'm obsessed with, and sort of little echinacea type daisy plants. And back in the day, I used to, when I first opened my Etsy shop actually, I used to sell glasses cases and Kindle cases and embroideries, because embroidery was my first thing that I used to do years and years ago now. So I've been really enjoying doing those, and I'm going to put these in my shop because I don't know whether it's the kind of thing you'd like or not. I'll soon find out. But it also means, because there's a little bit less embroidery on these than there is on a bigger bag, that they can be a bit more reasonable as well. It still take quite a long time to do, but anyway. Also, Tracy, if you're watching, somebody said to me the other day, she bought one of my embroidered bags, and she was saying that she loves embroidery, but that it doesn't have a sewing machine. I might try and put a tutorial up actually making something like this, because you can absolutely do this hand stitched. You don't need to have a machine to make something like that. So I don't know if that's something you would like to see. I would be very happy to do that if you would. But anyway, so I've been doing those little glasses cases, and I don't actually, when I used to make them, I used to do buttons and loops and everything, but they were a bit faffy. And if you look, glasses are never going to come out of those, I don't think. They might try, but they wouldn't. So I've been making some of those. And the other thing I've been doing, which I can't show you because they were sold and they're on their way to their new homes, but I've done some more embroidery, which I'll put some footage in here that I've taken if I can. But it was basically this fabric is what inspired everything, and this was the earth. So I did 3 bags, and the yarn, and this is the yarn, which is the earth laughs in flowers, and this was the fabric. And that was because I love winter, I love autumn, I love winter, and honestly I certainly prefer autumn and spring to summer, just simply because I get so flipping hot. But the thing I miss most is the colour. I think, yeah, that's what I miss. So I just wanted a little burst of colour, which is why I chose to do those. And really that's most of what I've been doing, because we've been working on the Flowers of Romance boxes, which again, I'll either try and put some footage in here, or if not, a little bit in the vlog. So if you've ordered one, it's on its way. If you're overseas, it's on its way. UK are going out the beginning of this coming week. So there is a little bit of a spoiler, because I do show the packaging, but I don't show the yarn colours, so I won't spoil that. But anyway, we've been working on those, which we're actually really proud of. And I'll try and put, like I said, I'll try and put some footage in here on the vlog, so that you know what I'm talking about really, and what to expect and what they're like. But the Easter box, which has just gone into the shop, there won't be many of them. And they are meant to bring a box down actually to show, and I haven't brought it, which is silly, but it's a really nice little box that it will come in, which is ideal for you to keep your socks in, or sock projects or anything like that in. And then it's 7 20-gram minis, a 100-gram skein, a project bag, and lots of little treats. So that's because Easter is early this year. I think it's right at the beginning of April, I believe. So you might think it's a bit soon to think about Easter, but we have to know how many we sell to dye them up, and it takes us a long time to put them together. And basically each of the minis comes in, they're wrapped in tissue, and then they'll be in a little bag which will be numbered. Yeah, so the Flowers of Romance box, it's kind of inspired by Valentine's Day, but it doesn't have to be opened on Valentine's Day. You know, if you're my bagatell's back. If you're I put a little note in there anyway, but you just open it when you want to, but open it over a period of 5 days. You could open your bag on day 1, and then your 5 yarns, and then your 100-gram skeins. So that would do your week. But the Easter set, yes, that's going to be 7 + 1. Phew. So what I want to be doing, so first of all, lovely Emma, Eldenwood Crafts, she's lovely. I love Emma, she's so lovely. And she has got her Make 9 this year, but she has done, rather than saying you want to make this shirt or you want to sew that pattern, it's more this year about you want to perhaps learn embroidery, or you want to knit a cardigan, and you know, so it's a bit more, it's a bit broader. And I said to her, I think that's perfect, because you need to be inspired, but you don't need to feel like an abject failure if you haven't done those things. Whereas if you say one of the things you want to do, so one of the things I want to do is flower arranging, I'll talk about that in a second. You know, you're not going to feel that, oh, I wish I've not done that now, and then you feel it has a negative effect, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I think what she's done is lovely. So anyway, I'm definitely joining in with that. So things that I want to make that I am inspired by, because I do get so inspired. I mean, I used to spend an age on Pinterest, and I haven't been on there for quite some time, but I must. But Instagram, I just get inspired by so much on there, which I think is absolutely lovely. And a couple of things that I want to do, and it is Calico and Stitch, which is a lovely account. And she had on there some, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, I was calling her she, the lady on there. She had, and it was like little samplers, little bits of embroidery and stitching. And that sort of is on fabric, and I think she has it in a sampler book, and I just thought I just thought it was so beautiful. I was obsessed with looking at that photo. Go and have a look at her feed if you don't follow her. Oh, go and have a look. You know, why don't you go and have a look? It's instructing you what to do. But she has, it's a lovely feed anyway, but I just thought that would be such a nice thing to do, with little small bits of stitching maybe, or just bits of fabric that you put together, and then perhaps put on some linen or something, and even made into a cushion, or like I said, I think she had hers in a sampler book. So yeah, that's something I'd like to do. And I remember Gaynor, Tales from Cuckoo Land, Karen, who's Cozy Corner Quilts, and I went to stitch show in, I think it was, I can't remember when it was. I can't remember when it was. It was at least well over a year ago, and with all quilts, etc. And I was a little bit overwhelmed with it all, because although I've sewn forever, I have never actually completed a quilt. Well, no, I haven't even made a quilt. What do I mean completed? I mean, I've half-hearted started something once, or planned, or even had jelly rolls that I've nearly bought. And anyway, Karen's brilliant at all of that, and she was sort of giving advice, but I don't know why I haven't started it. I don't know. I think it's a big task and I'm a bit daunted by it. But anyway, one of the things we were looking at, it was called Jane something. What was it called? I don't know. It was lots of little pieces of embroidery. And I remember Gaynor and I sort of thinking that's a really good thing to do, to start small. So inspired by what the lady did on her feed, I thought I might do that perhaps with a cushion, just start small. So do some little bits of stitching and then just put them on. That's that plan. The other thing that I want to do is also a little bit, I have obsessions all the time with things, and the thing at the moment is I keep looking at Fair Isle, and I think it's amazing. I can't remember now what it's called. I think it might be Jameson Smith, but I saw a really good, lovely lady called Hazel, who I could listen to all day long, who was talking about making a Fair Isle bookmark. And so you knit it in the round, and then you have this steek, which absolutely terrifies me. But I thought that's a really good way of doing a bit of Fair Isle, because the only time I've done colour work was a hat, and if you've seen any of my past podcasts, you will know that was an epic fail. So I just thought I would try and do this. I will put the link underneath if you're interested in going and having a look. But yeah, that looks really good. And also making something small. It's like, I think she said it would take about 3 hours to start if you did it in one go. I think she does workshops, and she was saying it's really nice to for people to actually come away with things. So that's something I would like to do. And oh yeah, the Shetlands and that whole history of it all, it's fascinating me at the moment. So I'd like to do that. Cherie, my lovely friend Cherie, Ollie and Bella, she's got some lovely cross stitch on her account that she's doing, and that has definitely triggered off my wanting to do cross stitch. I used to do cross stitch years and years ago, actually before I even did embroidery, and I love that. And when I see other people do it, I just think, oh, I love that. It looks lovely what she's doing. So I want to do some cross stitch, and I know I have all these things. And this next thing that I want to do, and I also, with our minis, so every month we're dyeing up some minis and main skeins inspired by a flower. So it's similar to our Wildflowers minis, but except it's focused on one flower. And for the first month we did snowdrops, which I can't show you because I don't have any left now, but people have been saying they're thinking of doing blankets. Emma, I think, Eldon Craft, she was going to do a habitation shawl. And I think I might do socks, actually. So I'm going to cast on some snowdrop socks when I've finished my wrist warmers, not before. And the colours, this month's flower, the colours will be going in the shop this coming Friday. Did I say what today was? Sunday the February 7th? So 7th, 8, Sherry's brain counting, 8, 9, 10, so it'll be the 12th, I think, Friday the 12th. The colours will be going up for this month. Anyway, the other thing I was talking to, and I've been doing some journaling. I love that. So what I have been watching and making and what have you, reading, I mean, finished The Crown, and I did that thing again where I think I got tired and I thought, oh, what's the end of this one tomorrow? Been watching it on, I think it's Netflix. And, I got to the end of it, waiting for the next one to queue up, and it didn't. I hate that. Got to see the last one because there I was thinking I'll watch another one, and it's finished. So I was a bit put out by that. And Nikki, my culture guru, Nikki at the cottage, suggested The Dig. So that's next. That is again on Netflix with Kerry Mulligan and Ralph Fiennes. Actually can't wait to watch that. Although I know what's going to happen. I'm going to annoy Keith because I'm going to keep stopping it because of the clothes, which drives him crazy. And the other thing I have been doing is another one of my obsessions at the moment. So this whole thing about lockdown, I've said before, it's not that I have this bracey life where I'm out here, there and everywhere. I live a fairly simple life, but I like to wander. I love to have a wander around shops, not clothes shopping, but I love to go in second-hand shops, and I love I love vintage clothes. I've always loved that, and I love picking up old books. And at the moment, and stationery. God, I love stationery. I could shop for hours on stationery. My oldest son is the same, and we will actually send each other posts sometimes. Did you see this? Ali, Starry Eyes Ali, who she loves notebooks as well. I totally get that. And the other thing that I'm really into at the moment is I've been reading this book. So for a long time now, I can't remember if I've talked about this before. I might have done. I'm really sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's quite possible. Did I even show this? I can't remember if I showed this on Instagram or if I showed this last month. But anyway, this is Willow Crossley, and this is Flourish. And I also have her Wild Journal, which is all about how nature, a bit like, what's the book? I can't remember what it's called now. It's a bit like the other one, which is all about winter and helps you to get through that. This is about how she's got a year of nurturing yourself through nature. It's about how nature literally helps you in so many ways. At the moment, that's what I miss. I miss being able to go to the moors or go to the beach and have a wander. Anyway, I get distracted. The other thing that I love, so this book it's things like this, simple. So it's all about flower arranging, things like this. And so these are just lupins are they jam jars? Oh, in jars. I've got some of those actually. So things like that, that's what I'm talking about. Things like that, those bottles that you find, or old jars, or old vases, or old pots. I love all that. And I love walking around a second-hand shop and just seeing a little something. My mum is like that. And seeing something at the back and thinking, oh, I know what I can use that for. I miss that. Anyway, this is lovely, this book. She's got things like that, simple things like that, or way out of my league at the moment. Try and find you something. She does really pretty arrangements like this. So I would say her style is very natural, sort of quite, not wild, but that kind of thing. And she actually, I saw her recently on Vivian, who's Green Rabbit Design. She had, Willow does this thing, it was on her feed last year actually, how she twists the tulip leaves out, and I'm going to distracted again. But anyway, she's lovely. I recommend her. She's a delight. She's such a lovely lady. Her Instagram feed, she's got lots of stories and IGTV that she does. But anyway, she does a really lovely course. I mean, I've got a bunch of daffodils over there in a vase, a bunch of daffodils over here. Plonk them in a vase, that's my kind of limit, but I would like to get better. So sorry, it's overheated again. That's me talking too long. I can only apologise. Anyway, just very quickly. So she has this course where she shows flower arranging and things like that, but in a very natural kind of way, my kind of style. I wouldn't like anything too fancy, you know, I just like kind of more natural. So I said to my husband the other morning, she's got a lovely course, online course. I was thinking, because it's quite expensive, I was thinking I might do that. What do you think? And he went, he said, you've got so much you're doing at the moment. You couldn't possibly do another course. I've got a watercolour course I'm doing as well. So I thought, no, you're right. But I might be tempted because I would love to learn that. I think that's a lovely skill to have. We'll try that one again soon. Anyway, the other thing is I've been and got something to show you actually that I nearly forgot about. Nearly forgot to show you. Cooking, I've been doing lots and lots of cooking. I'm making bread. I've got a loaf of bread over there that I've just finished, and I'm going to make this afternoon another olive loaf, which I made one last week with green olives, but I'm going to put black olives in these. Anyway, I wanted to show you this. So this literally last week made my week. I got a message from my friend Gaynor, who is Tales from Cuckoo Land. So she had my lavender. So last year, she asked me, would I like the lavender from her garden? If you follow her, oh, the smell that's just hit me. If you follow her, which I'm sure you do, then you will know she's got a beautiful garden and lots of lavender. And I literally expected, and I thought, well, maybe she's forgotten that. And she said, it's your lavender. And I expected lavender. She's taken all the lavender off for me. Look, I don't want it all to fall out, but that is full of lavender. So Gaynor, I can't thank you enough for that. It was lovely, and I can't wait till we can all go out again with Cherie and Karen. It was a year ago, which Cherie actually said a couple of days ago. It was a year ago that we went out, and that was so lovely, and who knew that it would be different. So if you get a lavender bag, I send lavender bags out with the yarns, etc., then you will be getting lavender from Gaynor's garden. How cool is that? So thank you, lovely Gaynor and Toby. Thank you. That was so generous and kind of both of you. Yes, so I think that's it. I think that's quite enough. As I said, I apologise. There is a little vlog. There is quite a bit of cooking in that vlog. That's because I've been doing quite a bit of cooking, and because I can't show you the Flowers of Romance because it's secret squirrel, as Gaynor would say. I can't really show you much of what I've been working on, but so there's quite a lot of cooking in there. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and if there's going to be anything else, that will be the end. So thank you very much. Oh, one more thing.